Now it's going to start with the Brooklyn Nets. The 6'2" guard from Duke wearing 11, Kyrie Irving.
What is going on, everybody? So this week I took off of work and I randomly decided I just wanted to go drive down from Chicago to Indiana for a couple nights. I heard Kyrie was making his long anticipated and controversial debut. I had never been to a Pacers home game before. I've been to a bunch of different NBA arenas across the country already. I think Indiana is my 12th one now. So I'm trying to get to all of them hopefully in the next couple seasons. But look, I had a great time at this game. The crowd had great energy, even from all the way up in the nosebleeds. It was a competitive game, and there was some exciting storylines going on too. Lance Stevenson was back, and when he checked into the game, the crowd gave him a standing ovation. He was getting MVP chants, and they were chanting his name, even though he doesn't have a very chantable name. Someone in my section tried to start a "Let's Go Nance" chant, but it just sounded like they were saying "Let's Go Nets." So that kind of backfired. But either way, the dude was feeling the love because he was absolutely on fire, dropped 20 points in the first quarter. He was raining threes, finishing at the basket, and he looked good, man. He was shifty, confident as he always is, looked like a strong playmaker as well. He ran a great two-man game with Sabonis throughout the game, who was pretty dominant himself. He had a really great game up until the late stretch where the Nets started to figure him out a little bit, and he had a couple costly turnovers, but he still had a big triple-double to show for it. So quick couple thoughts on the game and what it was like being there. First, the Pacers arena does this giveaway that a lot of other arenas do, where if a player misses 2 free throws consecutively in the second half, they have a free giveaway or something. So as a Philly fan, I've seen how crazy these fans can get just over a free Frosty from Wendy's. And I saw that they had the same kind of giveaway here, but no one was getting hyped for it. I'm like, come on now, get up. You're supposed to be cheering for your home team. And then I figured it out. I figured out why no one was getting excited. It's because they were giving away Arby's, and no one wants that shit. Anyway, nothing to do with basketball. I just thought that was kind of funny. I can't wait for either Domantas Sabonis or Miles Turner to get traded. I can kind of start to see, now that I saw it firsthand, how they start to get in each other's way, how they interact with each other. You know, they're trying to work it out. But look, this has been a failed experiment for a long time now. The Pacers are on the way wrong side of 500. And it's time to cash in before the deadline. But look, I already know people didn't tune into this game to watch the Pacers. This was Kyrie Irving's season debut, and after a slow start in the first quarter, he did not disappoint. 22, 3, and 4 with great effort on defense to go with some big-time clutch baskets down the stretch. Just to remind us, to nobody's surprise, that he's still Kyrie Irving. He's still one of the best shot creators and finishers around the basket in the whole NBA. And lifestyle decisions aside, I am very happy to see him on a basketball court again, even if it is just as a part-time player. I just ain't never heard of no part-time NBA player. We'll just have to stay tuned for what kind of precedent, if any, this kind of action and decision sets for the rest of the league in the future. So we'll see. But the Nets, with part-time Kyrie, should be NBA favorites in my opinion. KD is the best player in the league. James Harden is still a superstar even though he's having a down year overall. And I was blessed to see firsthand the kind of fear that just having those 3 players on the court at the same time when it matters most, what kind of fear that instills not into a team but a whole city. Because when it's fourth quarter, Pacers needed to stop, and teams, not just the Pacers, don't have anyone anywhere close to the personnel to match up with those 3 guys. KD can get his shot up over anybody, and he's the biggest double-team target on the Nets. But, like, if you double-team, you risk leaving 2 all-time great scorers open on the swing. And if you don't, KD will score on you. He's the most effortless scorer I've ever seen, and he was worth the price of admission alone, just from his MVP performance like we saw on that night. So, great game, man. I had a really great time in Indiana. All right, so next topic. I wanted to cover this one because I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist, man. The Celtics are bad. They are buns, and I almost feel bad. I'm still not fully over the Fultz-Tatum trade, by the way, and many of the playoff losses that they've handed us throughout the years. But Knicks versus Celtics, epic battle of the 2021-2022 season disappointments. Titans clash in an epic battle as they compete for a final spot in the play-in tournament. Look, let me calm down, man. And they say division rivalries are dead, man. I still want both of these teams to fail. But look, I'm talking smack, but it's all in good fun. I got respect for all these teams. I enjoy basketball across the board. You already know that. But look, man, I just wanted to give my quick thoughts on the game because it was pretty weird. So first of all, Julius Randle shoots too many threes. He like airballed his first 2 shots, started giving a thumbs down to the crowd. And I'm like, bro, you're such a higher threat when you use your strength, draw contact, use your quickness and agility down low, use that up and under. You know when guys they don't look like a shooter? Like, I know a lot of good shooters who have wonky forms, but Randle, it's like when he shoots as the defense, I would just be like, I'll live with that. And he's only shooting like 32%, I think, or less this season. Nonetheless, he still came up big and was a huge part of the comeback. But how about Evan Fournier dropping a career high? He obviously hates the Celtics even more than me, or he just loves being on national TV, but he was dropping ridiculous threes when it seems like nobody else on the court could even make a shot. Just completely out of his mind last night, dropping 41 and 10 for 14 from 3. And look, but the weird thing about this game is the Knicks didn't really play that well outside of him. Burks was 1 for 10. RJ Barrett was 4 for 15, and we'll come back to that. Mitchell Robinson was just doing cardio out there. Emmanuel Quickley was actually pretty good off the bench. But like, how do you lose to a bench player and a role player? So that brings me to the real reason why the Knicks came back in this game, and it's the Celtics. Look, Tatum had an excellent game. He was really trying his best to carry his team down the stretch, but he was a complete no-show in the first quarter. And I don't mean to nitpick, but this is a common problem I've been seeing from Tatum so far this season. He just goes through these stretches where he's not involved in the offense, like, at all. And I think he had 0 points after 1 quarter, and he still finished with an efficient 36, 9, and 6. It just makes me think of why we don't always get to see that full game production on a more consistent basis. And the same thing for Jaylen Brown, who basically did the complete opposite of Tatum last night, where he showed up for the first quarter and then he was just chilling for the rest of the game. Also, shout out to Robert Williams. I got no shade to throw his way. What a gifted defensive player. 7 huge blocks, many more shots contested. He was a huge reason why a lot of the Knicks players struggled to score in the first place, and he was giving his team life out there. But the whole fourth quarter, I was just thinking to myself, man, old heads and former players from like the 90s, they must be pissed off watching this game right now with all these 3-pointers and all these 3-point misses. I was originally going to do my Celtics hate video last week when the Celtics had a game against the Clippers where they lost to a Kawhi-less, Paul George-less team, and they shot 4 for 42 from 3. That's just the literal definition of insanity. I understand you're getting open shots a lot of the time, and it's not always just isolation, step back 3-pointer. But like, if it's not working, it's not working. Do something else. Get to the basket. Get to the line. Look for Robert Williams on the lob. He shouldn't be getting just 6 points in 34 minutes, especially when I think he had the first 4 points of the game. This just emphasizes their need for a starting caliber playmaking, pass-first point guard. And if they don't get a deal done by the deadline, they're missing the playoffs. You heard it here first. So this was an ugly game, but I was invested in it because the Knicks were climbing back from down 25. MSG was getting hype. And the piece de resistance, after I had been silently complaining about RJ Barrett's decision-making, shot selection, and just overall lack of basketball skill, he says, watch this, banks in a game winner at the buzzer, and it was complete luck. I don't care what anyone says. Still, I'm very happy for him, and I love to see that his teammates trusted him to make the final play in the last second, because I think that says a lot. Doesn't it feel like we've gotten a ton of buzzer beaters this season? I'm honestly loving it. It makes garbage league pass games feel like a playoff game, and it makes these higher stakes games like last night feel like an NBA championship. No better feeling as a basketball player than hitting a game-winning shot at the buzzer. Just every kid's driveway dream. I know I've had plenty of those.
Finds Barrett. Get a shot up. This is for the win. Oh! It's good! Off the window!
So here's what I'm going to do. If this video gets 3 likes, I'll make another video about all those incredible game winners we've seen this season. So hit that like button if that's something that you think you'd be interested in seeing. But on that note, that's basically all I have for today. Stay tuned for a continuation of my last video in which I talked about the NBA's most improved player. I'll probably talk about the defensive player of the year next. But yeah, man, leave a comment, leave a like, stay blessed, have an amazing week, and I'll see y'all in the next one.